What up? This is Trucker Vince, aka Belzar, aka Nudist Guy. This video is gonna talk about me, basically how I started trucking and why I went to trucking and all that good stuff. I originally recorded this audio on the road, but the audio for it was pretty shitty because of our stupid door on the truck. It's like it sounds like the window's always open. So I just decided to just use the video and then just record it here at my house on my computer, which would probably sound like 100 times better. So here we go. Uh, right now, what you're seeing is me driving through. Uh, I just hopped on the 40 East from the 15 North in California, heading towards Needles. Um, so yeah, I basically started trucking. Well, I ended up before trucking. Let me start there. Before trucking, I was working at Domino's in Claremont, California, delivering pizzas, and I really liked it. It was cool delivering to all the colleges, dorms, and just having a good time. And the cool thing about that store was that they closed like super late. Like sometimes, I remember one time getting out like at 5 in the morning because of the dorms and delivering all night to these colleges. So I really enjoyed that. At the time, I was doing like tons of shows and just really putting myself out there with my music and my raps and everything. But one thing led to another, and I realized that I needed to really have like financial security, and I wanted to like not be known as that guy that just makes music. And no offense to anyone that's just doing that, like just doing music and going all out with that, but I always wanted to do like a lot of different things in my life. So I decided to get my class A, and just continue my my trucking journey, and see how far I could really take it, I guess you could say. Because one thing about me, when I start something, I just like to go all the way and just see how far I could take it. So I think it was like April, or I think no, March of 2016 is when I originally went to school for my to get my commercial driver's license, my class A. And so I did the class, this school called Roadmaster in Fontana, California. It was a really good school, pretty expensive. Um, I think it cost me like 7,000 to do the school. But I mean, compare that to like regular school, where you end up like 60 grand in debt and all that shit. I was like, man, it's worth it. I'll put in 7 grand, and then the school was only like a month. The longest part was waiting for the DMV to have a spot for me to take my exam and my road test, because it's really backed up with everybody trying to get their licenses in California. But I did the school for like 3 weeks, from like 7:30 a.m. to like 5 p.m. every day, and passed it first time. Took my road test, passed it, and got my license, and that was that. I was on my way. And the reason why the school was expensive was because it was a really good school. Some schools are like a few grand, a lot cheaper, but this was a really good school. So I I just ended up doing that, and it worked out. I got my license. I was on my way. But the first job that I went to was a total nightmare. I actually went to this this company called U.S. Express, and no offense to them, because you know what, everybody, the way I see it, like when you start a job, it can go really good or really bad, and sometimes it works out for people, sometimes it doesn't. For me, it just didn't work out. I don't like to like talk shit about companies because everybody has different experiences, but my experience was really shitty. So this is how it went down. I applied for US Express, when I first got my license, talked to the recruiter. He was like, all you need is to get your license, your paper license from the DMV, and you're all good to go. I'll put in paperwork and then you can just take a bus over here to Dallas, Texas, yada yada. So I did that. Um, got on a bus. It was a nightmare of a bus ride. It was 40 hours. Started in Claremont, California, backtracked to LA, then left LA and headed towards Dallas. 40 hours later, I was in Dallas, and I obviously hopped on different buses in between there, between LA and Dallas, and finally got to Dallas, the Greyhound station, after a horrible ride. Crazy ass people. Never take the Greyhound. Honestly, it's cheaper to take a plane anyway, and I would have got reimbursed. I didn't know at the time, but I would have got reimbursed. Always take a plane because the people on Greyhounds are fucking crazy. But anyway, long story short, I took the 40-hour ride to fucking Greyhound, and then I actually called the hotel I was supposed to stay at and asked for a shuttle to go to the hotel, and they were like, "Oh, the shuttle's not running today." And I'm like, "Oh, are you serious? Okay, whatever." I took a taxi. Yeah, it's a taxi. I don't was thinking about Uber at the time, so I took a taxi to the hotel. Get to the hotel, they say they're all booked, and I was like, "What the fuck?" So I finally talked to someone else, got a room. It was a La Quinta over there in Dallas, and actually, it was really, really amazing food. I would always get up early to eat that food. Good experience there, um, as far as the food goes. And then I went to orientation. I think it was the next day, and come to find out that I will not be able to continue my process because of the fact that I don't have my hard copy of my license, which was kind of stupid because my recruiter just wanted to get me in the door and get his money or whatever. So I had to have my mom send my hard copy to Dallas overnight, which cost like $100, something like that. So that kind of sucked. So I was in basically in the hotel for another week when I could have been done and on the road. I was in the hotel doing nothing for a week because I had to wait for my hard copy to come in and wait for it to get shipped. And then I can continue my process. So that was a pain in the ass. But the cool thing was I went to a strip club for the first time over there in Dallas. And that was cool. It was actually like a black girl strip club, and it was like kind of ghetto. Like you could bring your own beer, and I never heard of that. I mean, I never really been to a strip club in Cali where I stay, but I mean, apparently over there in Dallas, you can bring your own beer inside and have girls strip for you, whatever. But anywho, that was cool, and I was just bored out of my mind. So I ended up walking. You can probably see the videos on my YouTube and shit of me exploring Dallas, Texas. So yeah, I pretty much just made the best out of it. I went to Dallas. I looked around. I saw where the location where Kennedy got assassinated, and just made the best out of it. I Ubered around and just because I was just pretty much in the hotel for a week, so that's the good thing about that was I was able to explore Dallas and just kind of enjoy it. And then after that, there were so many red flags with the whole bus thing, and then me and not being able to get a shuttle to the hotel and the hotel being booked. There was a bunch of red flags, but I finally was like, man, this isn't the one thing that got me where I was like, this isn't for me, was the fact that they messed up my pay for orientation. I'm like, if they can mess up my pay for orientation, then how can they pay me when I'm actually on the road driving? So I finally just left that. I took a flight back from Dallas back home and was like, fuck that. I'm never dealing with that shit again. Like I said, it works out for some people. I'm not trying to talk shit about US Express, but that's just what happened with me. And so after that, I came back, and I think I was working at a warehouse for a little bit. I renewed my forklift license because I could pretty much drive every single forklift there is. So I renewed that, and then I went to random warehouse, I think like in Chino or something, where I was like just doing the cherry picker thing, and it was cool. It was cool, but like the reason why I left there is because it just wasn't for me, man. I was kind of over the whole warehouse thing, so I ended up going to this. I looked online. I saw this thing called Instacart, so I did that. At the time, it wasn't in the IE. It was just in LA. So I did that. Pretty good money. A week I was making like 700 to like, I think one week I made like thousand bucks. So I did that, and then after that, I finally found this contractor with FedEx, and I went with him. That was cool. I was doing doubles, but the thing with that was I ended up getting a ticket when I was in Arkansas, so that sucked. So I left. I had to leave there because FedEx wouldn't allow me to continue driving with them because of my freaking ticket, which is kind of stupid. Because if I was like a driver with experience, that wouldn't have mattered. But you know, it is what it is. I was a rookie and I got a ticket. That was that. A bunch of crazy shit happened to me when I was on the road. When I first started, but I'll explain it in another video, all my crazy stories. But for this one, I just kind of want to talk about like how I started and where I'm at now. So that happened, left FedEx, came back. I went to Warner, which was actually the same company that the school was on. The school uses the Warner terminal over there off of Calabash in Fontana. Um, Went back with Warner for training. That was cool. Um, what else? Did the training for a few months, and I hopped on after training. I was on a Family Dollar account, and I was delivering to Family Dollars in Utah and Colorado. But the thing with that was I had to unload all that shit myself. So I was like, fuck that shit. Last thing you want to do is being like freezing weather, unloading a whole fucking 53 foot trailer full of products that are just thrown in there, like hit you. And I heard stories of guys breaking their wrists and all this crazy shit just from unloading trailers. I'm like, I'm not trying to do that shit. So I quit that real quick. But then, well, that account anyway, after like a week. Good thing was I was able to take my girl with me. So she went to Utah and Colorado with me. That was fun. Um, After that, I did solo for like a month or something like that. And then I quit that because they were just fucking with my pay. And I just felt like I had better opportunities waiting for me somewhere else. So I quit that. And then I came back actually to do the Domino's thing again for like 6 months. I was attempting to move up to manager and own my own pizza business, my own Domino's, but that didn't work out because the manager was basically, I'm not blaming other people. It was kind of my fault too because I just wanted to make more money after the 6 months, but there was just a lot of roadblocks with the manager, and she was kind of seeing the supervisor, and it was just it was a horrible situation for me to actually move up and move forward. So and just the time that it would have taken, and it didn't make sense to me at the time. So I moved on from that. I went back to trucking locally. I found Coca-Cola and Rancho. I did that for like a month maybe. I did training for like a week or two, and then I went on my own. But the thing with that is you are basically on call, so you have pretty much no say on your schedule. That you're just waiting by the phone like an agency and hoping they call you. And I was like, nah, I'm good. Left that, went to CR England. That was cool. I was there for like a year and a half, delivering to Walmarts in Southern Cali. But the thing with that, unless you're working your ass off, like working 6 days, you know, um, sometimes up to like 18-hour days, because you'll get there and wait like 4 hours because they don't have trucks, and then you'll start your 14-hour day. I wasn't cool with that because I don't like not getting paid for what I do. So I left that after about a year and a half. It was cool. Like I honestly, like it wasn't a bad job, but I like I said, I just when I find a job or something, I always feel like if it's not like, oh, somebody pisses me off, I gotta move on. It's just for me, if I find something better, I'm gonna do that, you know. So I moved on from that last November, which was 20 November 2018, right after Thanksgiving, and I went with a contractor with FedEx Ground. And basically, what a contractor is a guy that just owns trucks, and has a contract with whatever a broker or a different a company. Like for instance, the contractor I was with before he sold his route, um owned a few trucks, and then he sold his route like December, right before the new year, right before January 2019. And now I'm with another contractor. This guy owns like 18 trucks, um but they're all contracted to FedEx Ground. So I'm basically holding doubles for FedEx Ground. I go to Connecticut every week, unless we're like behind schedule or something. Then we'll like do a short run to like Oklahoma or Portland. um but yeah, I go to Connecticut every week. I love it. I make pretty decent money. um really excited for the future. I have lots of goals, lots of endeavors aside from music, which I'm gonna talk about in other videos. But this one, that's I just want to talk about my intro to trucking and basically my journey with trucking. And I really, really enjoy trucking. I don't see it as something I'm going to be doing forever because I have other endeavors as far as music and other businesses that I want to do and open up. But for the time being, trucking is really good to me, and I eventually want to get my own trucks and everything, and just run them. You know, just hire drivers and just run them. So that's basically what I'm gonna do. But I'll make another video on that probably later. But um, that's definitely one of my goals, and I'm making decent money right now. Um, how much, you ask? Pretty damn good. Um, pretty damn good. Um, that's all I'm gonna say right now. I don't really want to get into how much I make in this video, but it's up there. I'd say I'm getting paid pretty decent. Um, I mean, the next step for me to make more would either be hauling some type of like gas or something, 'cause I know they make good money, or going with Walmart. I mean, Walmart, a fuel truck, like hauling fuel, or just owning my own trucks. Like those are the next three options for me. And I'm definitely not gonna go with Walmart, only because I mean I guess I could, but I don't know. I'm just already with FedEx. It's like it's super easy. I'm not trying to take the easiest route, but it's just it's just what I like it. I like that I go. I'm dedicated. I'm home every 5 days, and I enjoy it. I want to learn more about it, so when I get my own trucks, I can really know the ins and outs of it. So I just want to stick it out with this. And as far as fuel, the reason why I mean Walmart, that's the reason why I don't want to go, is because I want to stay and learn more about this company and the ins and outs of FedEx Ground. Um, so that's why I don't want to go to Walmart. But the reason why I don't want to go with fuel, I just, man, I don't know. Like I always felt like it's just like one accident, somebody cuts you off, or some bullshit happens, and like bam, like this whole thing blows up. I mean, I guess you could say like, yeah, if you're a good enough driver, like you could avoid that shit. But sometimes you just can't predict what people are gonna do, man. Sometimes you can't predict situations, and I just don't like putting myself in a situation where like that could happen, you know? I know it's rare. I know it doesn't really happen often. And I know I probably could make really good money local doing that fuel shit, but I don't know, man. It's not for me. I don't feel like making all these random stops and fucking LA and these fucking ghetto ass gas stations and fucking middle of the night. I'm good. I'm good where I'm at. I like listening to my audiobooks, seeing the country. Um, yeah, so I'm gonna just stay here with this contractor in FedEx Ground and save up some money and do my own thing. So that's where I'm at now, and yeah, I plan on staying here for a while. You know, probably no more than a few years, and then I'll probably make some moves. But yeah, man, I'm excited for the future, and this is the first video of many of me just speaking my mind and random shit. But yeah, that's basically my journey in a nutshell as far as like when I started trucking until now. You know, me going from a delivery boy, delivery man to this truck driver guy. You know, I'm trying to stay away from the truck driver body. You know, I feel like it's so freaking hard, man. Like this is right now. It's Friday. What is it? The 5th, and it's so hard to really stay in shape. I'm just a really slim person by nature, like by my genes. I'm just a skinny guy, but like man, like it just you can really gain a lot of weight so quick out here. So I'm just trying to stay away from that. I still have my 24-hour gym membership. Um, what else? Yeah, that's pretty much it. That was my basically my journey from when I was the delivery guy to now with this FedEx contractor. And you know, I realized the one thing you can take from this video that I realized is no matter where you go, if you're a new trucker or thinking about getting into the trucking industry, no matter where you go, there's always going to be pros and cons. And that's with any job. There's always going to be somebody you don't like. There's always going to be somebody that doesn't know how to communicate. There's always going to be some part of the job that you do not like. But I noticed that sometimes the grass isn't greener on the other side. For me, the grass is greener when I left CR England because I'm making like way more than I did there. I think I was only making like, well, because I only worked 5 days a week and I only got one load. If you get 2 or 3 loads a day, which is kind of rare, you could easily make like 300 plus a day. You know, if you work 6 days, you can make like 2 grand plus, or almost maybe like 1800, 1700. I think the most I made at CR England was like 17 something for a week, 1700 and like $26 or something. That's because I did some crazy shit. And I wasn't really supposed to, as far as like because it was more of like a over the road route than a local route, but I just did it anyways and ended up staying like in Oxnard for like a night. Um, but that was before my London trip because I needed just as much money as possible. So I just was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it. But yeah, I left CR England because the grass was greener. I'm making more, you know, better money, and I'm happy where I'm at. So that's basically it for this video. Um, last things I want to say is, I mean, I'm happy, um, excited for the future, making good money. Got engaged last year in London, and I'm just making a lot of music. So that's that. I hope you enjoyed this video. You know, I know I talked for like 25 minutes, but anyway, this is me driving through the desert, and yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Got more to come. See you guys soon. Till then, take care.